So, guys, let's start our revision. And the topic for the session chosen by our Sikasa is risk assessment, which is SA 315, and materiality, which is SA 320. Throughout the session, I will be very strictly going by the keywords, expected questions, concept with respect to risk assessment and materiality. If you have any doubts, please put it into the chat box. I will be happy to clear. But first, let me say my plan. First, I will explain the concept of risk assessment. Then I will relate to the ICA material. Then I will discuss one or two questions. Then again, I will go to materiality, explain the concept. Then I will relate to the ICA material. Then I will explain one or two questions. Is that okay? Can you all give me a reply in the chat box? Okay, Anna. Okay. So with that, can we start? Okay. So guys, keep supporting. Okay, keep replying. Okay. Uh, so first I will start with the risk assessment topic. Okay. So let's revise with the class itself. So parnolo, keep on replying. Okay. I will correct if you are wrong. So risk assessment. It is basically chapter number 3, third chapter in our material. Risk assessment. Which essay will come to your mind? Ada, which essay will come to your mind? Risk assessment is basically uh, assessment, risk assessment. Risk assessment is basically very good. It is essay 315. So our topic is only risk assessment, but I'm linking. Whenever there is a risk, you will respond as per essay. Can you say response? Responses through essay. Very good. Through essay 330. Okay. So right now we will go with only essay 315. Right. So guys, risk assessment. Essay 315. Can you say risk assessment essay 315 in one word, one phrase? ROMM. Risk of material misstatement. Very good, Divya. Risk of material misstatement. Now, in essay 315, what are you going to do? You are going to, as an auditor, what are we going to do? We are going to, can you say, identify and assess what risk of material misstatement, how by understanding what entity and its environment. So one more time, through essay 315, first learn a phrase, risk of material misstatement. What are you going to do? Identify, kandupidikya, you identify, assess, how much, assess, what risk, how, through understanding the entity, the environment. Environment means basically internal control. Right. Now guys, the first part. What is the objective of this essay? Every essay, there is an objective. What auditor is supposed to do? Can you say the objective? As the name itself says, auditor shall identify and assess what risk of material misstatement. How? Through understanding. Okay, by understanding. There are three things. And a risk which is there for Infosys will not be the risk for X Limited. It will not be for Y Limited. So you have to understand three things. Can you say those three words, please? Let's revise with the class. Come on. By understanding what all the entity. Second, environment. And one more thing, internal control system. Can someone say relationship between risk and internal control? Riskum internal controlum directly related inversely related risk and internal control are inversely related. How inversely related? If control is less, risk is high. So in that area, we will perform more. If internal control is weak, risk is high. In that area, you will perform more audit procedures. That is essay 330 response. Okay. Now, a risk, can you always say risk is 20 lakh, risk is 30 lakhs? Can you quantify? Can you always say risk is 30, 40 lakhs? May not. If, say for example, going concern, there is a risk. Okay. But a going concern, essay, forgot. But a going concern, essay, 570, we are supposed to say going concern. Okay. So going concern, there is a risk. If there is a risk, can you quantify 10 lakh, 20 lakh, 40 lakh? May not. Purchase, there is a risk. Purchase, that we can quantify. Okay, 10 lakh is the purchases, 10 lakh is risk. So risk may be quantitative terms, you can express quantitative terms. Okay, quantitative terms. Or it may not be measurable. So it may be in non-quantitative terms. Can you reply whether you understood? Always we cannot quantify in value. Itrayana, this much you cannot say. Times. Now, going concern, there is a risk. Will it affect only balance sheet or will it affect the entire FS? Only balance sheet or entire FS? Going concern, if there is a risk, it affects the overall FS. Purchases, there is a risk. It basically affects what? Purchases, there is a risk. It basically affects what? It affects the P&L mainly. So risk can happen in two levels. Ada, can you say risk can happen in two levels? What are the two levels? It can affect the FS level, overall FS, full FS, overall FS. Or for this, there is another word, where word full, in auditing we call it as, no, I'm searching for that word. Completely affected, we call it as very good. Pervasively affecting FS. Or risk may be affecting only what? Risk may be affecting only assertion level. In assertion level of A, B, C, D. What is A, B, C, D? AB is account balance. Balance sheet item. C is class of transaction, P&L account item. D is disclosure notes. So guys, this and or a risk assessment, these two level we said, is it and or? Hello guys, I asked you risk assessment and or. I'll say in two languages. Risk rendu level varam. Rendu nokkande. Eda guys, risk can happen in two levels. But both we have to assess, na? Rendum paakanum. Both you have to see, right? So answer is, risk assessment is and. No. Many of you are saying or. No, it was a past MCQ question. Risk assessment is in FS, assertion, A or B, A and B. Answer is A and B. You have to see overall FS affecting risk as well as specific risk with respect to account balance, class of transaction, disclosure. Those students who said or, can you reply whether you understood? It's not or, it is and. Clear. Now guys, are all risk equally important? Ella riskum. Are all risk equally important? No. Can you say big risk is called as what? Technically, in keywords, you call it as, Nandu, you don't say it as material, you call it as, in essay 315, you say it as what risk? Significant risk. What is significant risk? risk that merits. Merits means called for, calls for. Merits attention of whom? Attention of auditor, client. Can someone say? Significant risk means, as you said, it's a material, big risk, which calls the attention of auditor. Essay is applicable for auditor. Now, very important past exam question, example of significant risk. Can you say few example of significant risk? And I will say what all are the expected questions, what all are the important repeated questions. This is a repeated question. Can you say few example of significant risk as per 315? First, risk due to fraud or error. Risk due to fraud. Risk related to related party or unrelated party? Risk related to related party transaction. Hey, related party, essay. Flow gone. 550. Complex transaction. Transaction is complex. Then, risk from accounting. Accounting estimates transaction in the normal course, outside normal course, more risk. Normal course, outside normal course. Very good. Transaction outside normal course. Now, guys, this is another expected question. First question expected is example of significant risk. Good. These are the example of significant risk. Now, another question which they can ask is, why transaction outside normal causes more risk? എന്തിനാണ് why ഏൻ transaction outside normal course of business is high risk? Can someone say normal course of business transaction, outside normal course? Outside normal course you said high risk. Why? At an internal control, non-routine. Very good. Why non-routine? At outside normal courses, non-routine. Why non-routine is risk, I am asking. You guys are saying non-routine. I am asking you why non-routine is risk. Very good. Because internal control will not cover, cannot detect these non-routine transaction. And a control can detect only routine inbuilt transaction. Internal control cannot detect. It is not within the scope of control. If control cannot detect, who has to intervene? Who has to come? If control cannot prevent these transactions, cannot detect, who has to come? Management has to intervene. Intervene meaning they has to come. If management, manual or automated, management should involve themselves, meaning manual. If it is manual, usually it is said to be more complex. So this is the second expected question from this. So guys, I said examples of significant risk. Now I am saying why transaction outside normal causes high risk. One, because internal control cannot detect or outside its scope. So manual intervention, managements. So it is more complex. Now, I'm linking us since it is revision. Significant risk ondengil. But if there is a significant risk, you want to report to user. Where will you report in your audit report? Can someone reply in chat box? And if there is a significant risk, you want to let users know. Array users, there is so much of risk. Where will you report in report? That's right. Very good. That's right. In essay, at a key, audit, matter, essay. 701 you will report. Will you report in 705? No. 705 it is not risk, it is material misstatement. Correct. Now, one more thing. A risk assessment, I may assess in another way. Anaka will assess in another way, Nandu will assess in another way. So risk assessment is a matter of very important phrase. Very good. APJ. APJ. What did you think? Auditor's professional judgment. Auditor's professional judgment and not, hello, and not precise measurement. Now, can you precisely measure risk? Never. That's why it's called as risk of material misstatement. See, I'm just clarifying the concept of SA 315. Can you give me a reply whether this much is clear? In this, two questions are expected. Examples of significant risk, why transaction outside normal courses risk. Then, this sentence is very important. Even in MTP1, it was there. Then, this MCQ, it is important. What? Two levels and a aura. So I'm just waiting for you to read and let me know if you're okay. 30 seconds, guys. Come on, come on, come on. 30 seconds. In 30 seconds, I wanted you to say proceed. 30 seconds. Your time starts now. Proceed. Okay, Mohit. Others? Okay. So can we proceed? Okay. So guys, auditor shall perform dash procedure to assess risk. From SA 500, we are learning RAP, FAP. Auditor shall perform what procedure? Very good. Auditor shall perform, can I put short word? Risk assessment procedure, RAP. How will you perform RAP? Yo. How will you perform RAP? Someone is asking doubt, and I'll come back to you, okay? Can you just copy paste the doubt? I'll come back to you after 5 minutes. Copy paste, copy that doubt. Ada, how will you perform risk assessment procedure? The risk assessment procedure, first you will perform inquiry. And you will inquire with who all? Who all you will inquire? First you will inquire with the management. Then you will inquire with Uparwala, TCWG. You will inquire with employees. Then who else? You will inquire with the, can I write short word? Internal auditor of the company. Internal auditor. You will inquire with the risk management team. You will inquire with information system personnel. You will inquire with in-house. Anyone supporting? You will inquire with in-house. Personnel, legal personnel. Okay. Etc. After you inquire, so you inquired, how much is the risk? You inquired. After inquiry, you will perform. What is the second one? You will perform observation. You will observe. After you observe, you documents, records, you will inspect. After inspect, you will perform comparison. Comparison, you call it as what? Analytical procedure. Any essay came to your mind? In the leddu putti, come on, what came to your mind? 500, no, 520. But in 520, haven't we learned analytical procedure is done in how many phases? Since revision, I'm linking. 3 phases. Anaga throughout, very good. 3 phases, planning, performing, completion. Risk assessment is which phase of audit? Planning or performing or completion or? Very good. It is planning phase. So risk is actually assessed in planning phase and revised in performing phase. Did you understand that? Risk is basically assessed in planning and then it is revised. See, initially we may think it's a wow, nalla, very good company. But based on your evidence, you may need to revise. So someone asked me a doubt. When is risk assessment procedure done? Risk assessment procedure is done in planning phase as well as it has to be revised and redone in performing phase. Basically, it is done in planning phase. So can someone support risk assessment one time, Ada? One time, Ano? Is it one time? Uh-huh. No. So risk assessment is achocho, no support. 1 minute. Risk assessment is a dash process, continuous and dynamic process. Anaga, iterative process comes where, can someone guide her? Iterative process, that is, she herself said that. Ayyo. Adu planning essay 300. No need of sorry, Gutta. You say wrong. I'm here to rectify right. This sentence logic you understood. Basically, it is done in planning phase. Then it will be revised. So it's a continuous and dynamic process. Okay, one MCQ which was asked in the exam. RAP doesn't include which of the following option? Can I ask you? A, B, C, D. Select the answer. A. Enquiry with the management, enquiry with external counsel, comparison, observation. No, don't ask me to say again. Very good. Answer is B. What? RAP doesn't include. Okay, I'm just writing for your reference. Doesn't include enquiry with the external. It mainly includes enquiry with in-house. The risk is inside the company. How can we ask outsiders? That is another MCQ question which was asked. Are you clear? Okay, so in this essay we said you have to obtain understanding of what all you have to obtain understanding. Anyone? Start in a flow. General Kutta, can you say, Danya, what can go wrong is okay. I'm asking you what all you have to understand about the entity. What all? Can you be specific? Operations. Okay, can I start in my flow? First, very good. Company's ownership. What if the ownership is some illegal people? Risk is high. Now come to the top management, governance. The governance people is not correct. They are lacking integrity, risk. Below governance, whom? Management. Management's philosophy, their style is not proper, risk. Then employees. Employees recruitment is not proper, risk. What employees are going to do? Very good. Operation. Their operations is not proper, risk. What is companies? Strategies, companies, policies. Their strategies, policies not proper. Again, risk da, risk. How they obtain finance? They are obtaining finance through black money. Shusho, risk. Finally, one more thing was there. Investment company's objective. So their investment they are doing in some illegal place, risk. So all these auditors should obtain understanding. And other things are there like law, AFRF, objective. All these you have to obtain understanding like law, AFRF, their objective. Okay. One more thing after that 1 minute rest. Here we are talking about risk of misstatements. What is misstatements? Babies, chalo, makle. Misstatement is the difference between the amounts as per the amounts as required as per AFRF and the amount as per FS or books. എന്തായിരിക്കണം എന്തായി എന്നവാ ഇരിക്കണു എന്നാച്ചു what it should be എടാ what it should be as per AFRS but what it is actually as per books FS. It can be in four forms. Anyone? Presentation? Wrong. Presentation da. Huh. Disclosure. Very good. Not disclosing. Wrong. Classification. Valuation. Valuation means amount. Any essay came to your mind when you heard about misstatement? That's right. Very good. Essay 450. So can you all acknowledge whether you understood this much? So in this repeated question, 3 or 4 repeated questions they have been asking. Anything I say can ask. Significant risk example they have asked. Why transaction outside normal course of business is risk they have asked. This sentence is very important. APJ and not precise measurement. Then and or risk assessment, that is important. Then risk assessment does not include external, that one. Then RAP includes these 4. That is very important. To who all you should inquire? These persons. That is also important. Yeah. Are we clear? Divya, I may not be. Let me see. I'm not so sure with it. Guys, take 1 minute rest and let me know. I have covered. I will just link it with ICA material maybe after I complete essay 315. Okay, I will link it. Link it means all of you have ICA material with you, right? On the law, you have, right? So in the end, okay, I will link it with ICA material and show you. But I can't sit and read because the portions which I'm going to cover today is around 30. Look for the 30, 30 pages in material. It's almost half of that chapter. Okay. So I'll just show, okay, this page 1, this one, page 2, this one. I'll just quickly show. If you have, you can just take and mark it. Okay, guys, 1 minute rest. Come on, say something. Ada, I will let you know. Right now, you listen fully into the classes. All other things, I'll let you know. If you have any doubt, ask me. I will clear. Right now, full concentration on the class. Yes, this is revision. Basically, it's a revision. But I'm trying to touch more, almost all the points and concentrating on which topic might be asked for the exam. Our exams are next month, right? So I should be concentrating on that more. 30 seconds. Anything you can say. 30 seconds more. Anything you can say. Something you see in the chat box. Now, put something. Vidusha, after class, you message me. Others, come on. How are you? Who is this? Rename your name. Have dinner. How to have dinner now? Only after class. Class is important. Okay, 10 more seconds. Within 10 seconds, I want you to say, you finished, very good girl or boy. And right now, I want you to say, proceed. Time up. Yeah. Okay, girls, boys, come on, gear up. Can we proceed? We were talking about risk. Now, are we talking about audit risk or client risk? Can you reply, please? Are you talking about client risk or audit risk? We are talking about the audit risk. Now, what is audit risk? See, audit risk is our primary objective as per essay. Amma, mother essay. Primary objective as per essay, 200 goes wrong. When FS are also wrong. And I'm saying in layman's language. Opinion തെറ്റ് FS ൽ തെറ്റുള്ളപ്പം. Opinion തപ്പ് FS ഉം തപ്പ്. Can you say it in auditing language? Audit risk. One second. Yeah, say audit risk is the risk that I'm talking about audit risk, is the risk that auditor expresses an what opinion? Inappropriate opinion, wrong opinion. When FS are materially misstated. Did you see two phrases? One, FS material misstatement are there. In that time, you expressed an inappropriate opinion. Is it and or is it or? Can you say, is it? Very good. What is the meaning of and? What is the meaning of and? And means both the conditions satisfied, then only it will be risk. You understood? And means both the conditions should be satisfied, then only it will be a risk. Very good. If one condition is only there, that's risk. Is that a risk? If only one condition is there, is it a risk? No. Now, this is another past exam question. What is audit risk? What is not included in risk? Can I come over again? What is audit risk? You know. What is not included in risk? They had asked. But as you said, if to be an audit risk, inappropriate opinion and FS should be misstated. So these are not included in audit risk. Can you say FS has material misstatement? Hello? FS has material misstatement. When FS has material misstatement, auditor expressed a appropriate opinion. Is it audit risk? Can you reply? Answer is no. Why? For an audit risk to come, both the conditions should be satisfied, na? Both should be satisfied. Here there is. is there, but you expressed appropriate opinion, so not a risk. Second, F is no There is no misstatements at all. But you expressed the inappropriate opinion. Is that an audit risk? Mind you, we said, what is audit risk? FS should be misstated and opinion should be inappropriate. Here there is no MM. MM means misstatement. Again, not an audit risk. Competition. There is a huge competition. Is that an audit risk? No. Competition is not audit risk. It is only a business risk. Correct. For an audit risk to arise, there should be a material misstatement in FS. FS le tettu kaanam, tappu varnam. There should be an MM. Are you clear? That was another exam question. What is audit risk and what is not included in audit risk? Actually, these are not included in audit risk. I'll put this as fourth one. Competition, business risk. These four are examples of not included in audit risk. Flow gone. Can you ask me what? Yo flow, pochu flow, gone, poi. And ask me what happened. Dada. Audit risk means, thank you, Anaga. Audit risk means inappropriate opinion when FS are misstated. FS, when there is a misstatement, what opinion you should have expressed? ഉള്ളപ്പം എന്ത് ഒപ്പീനിയൻ കൊടുക്കണം? When you have a what opinion you should have expressed? Modified, right? But you expressed unmodified. When FS are materially misstated. Hey, don't say qualified. It can be either qualified adverse. So better to say it as modified. Shirikim, you should have expressed a modified, but you expressed unmodified when FSR materially misstated. Isn't that an audit risk? Hello, FS MM, you should have expressed modified, but you expressed unmodified. That is another phrase or another sentence for audit risk. Can you give me a reply whether you understood till here? Any doubt? And a very, 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 very important concept I said now. What was the important concept, guys? To be an audit risker, okay? To be an audit risker, come on. 2, 1 should be there, and one more should be there, and inappropriate opinion. Either one only, it is not an audit risk. Basic condition, should be there. Material misstatement. And can you give me a proceed if you are okay with this much? Okay. A audit risk has how many elements? Audit risk has how many elements? 3 elements. Can someone support for 3 elements? Components of audit risk. First component is called as, can I write the short form? IR, inherent risk. Second, control risk. Third, detection risk. These are the elements. Inherent risk. One second. Yeah. Inherent risk, control risk, detection risk. Okay. What is inherent risk? Definition I will give you afterwards. Let's stop now. Concept clarity. Inherent risk is something which comes before controller, after controller. Before or after. Inherent risk is something which comes even if there is no control or even if there is a control. So it is something which comes before control. Best example, see the mobile phone. You are auditing a company which is manufacturing mobiles. Okay, technology changes. Because of that, there is a risk. Can control prevent technology change? No. Closing stock will be overvalued. So inherent risk is something which comes. Can you repeat? Before. Before internal controls. Okay. What is control risk? Risk that internal control, I see, internal control fails to detect, prevent, correct misstatements. Meaning control fails. Internal control is not proper. Any essay came to your mind when you heard about this? If internal control fails, internal control deficiency. Danya 200 ada. Very good essay. Very good essay. 265. You should communicate the deficiencies with the management and TCWG. That was just a linger. Now, detection risk. What is detection risk? Inherent risk is before control because of the nature susceptible. Control risk is because of failure in control. Detection risk is what fails? Audit procedure fails. It's from my part. Audit procedure fails to detect misstatements. Now, can you say IRA, CRA, DRA, we can control. Very good. It is only DR. Why so much reply for that? So much fans? Okay, very good. See, how can you reduce DR? Maybe reduce. Detection risk may be reduced by increasing audit procedure or by increasing the sample essay 530 or by appointing more experienced engagement team essay. Since it is revision, I'm asking. Engagement team, engagement partner, EQCR, 220, not 210, 220. Why 210? 210 is terms, 220. So detection risk you can reduce by extending the audit procedure, by increasing the sample, or by putting more experienced team. Now, which two risks we cannot control? It is something which happens before audit itself. We cannot control. That is these two. And these two together, you call it as what? Risk of material misstatement. ROMM. And a ROMM happens prior to auditor, during auditor, after auditor, all are. Others? ROMM, risk of material misstatement. Risk of material misstatement in FS. Madhu? No, Kota. It is before audit, prior to audit. Say, Madhu, which language you understand? See, that's why we are identifying and assessing. It's already there before our audit. That's why you are identifying and assessing because it's already there. So likelihood of misstatement in FS. FS is prepared before audit. So ROMM is something which is happening before audit. Chinna say, formula. I want to put the formula. Desired agraham. Say, can I put a formula? Please. There. Audit risk is equal to IR into, no one is supporting for formula, IR into CR into DR. What is common over here? Common IR and CR commonly is called as risk of material misstatement into DR. And these two are directly inversely related. ROMM and DR are inversely related. May I know why? If risk is more procedure. If more procedure, detection risk will be less. More ROMM, more. Very good. Last question. Can I ask you? Why are you assessing control risk? In internal control, do you express an opinion whether control are true and fair view? Do we express an opinion whether control shows true and fair view? No. Then why are you bothered? Makkala, why are you bothered about control? We are not expressing opinion on controls, right? Then why are you bothered? Very good. To what extent we can rely on control to find out that? Auditor shall assess control risk to assess whether to rely or not on control. I'll say in two language. എത്രത്തോളം control നമുക്ക് rely ചെയ്യാമെന്ന് അറിയാൻ. To find out to what extent I can rely on control so that my procedure I can design. I hope am I clear? You're not going to express opinion on control. Okay. So guys, in this, anything can be asked, but one question very important is concept of audit risk. Why does essay 200 is here? In essay 200 only we say audit risk cannot be reduced to zero. Inherent limitations. ILA, inherent limitations of audit. Then what are the components which is not included in audit risk? 1 minute, guys. Can you reply whether you understood this much? One minute. Okay. So Eda, I have one more thing to do. After that, risk assessment is over. We will go to ICA material and then do one question. So 30 seconds. In that, let me know by saying proceed. Don't go for dinner, guys. Marking scheme of ICA. Okay. Eda, I want you to say IR, CR, DR's meaning. We just said a point, no? I want full sentence of IR, CR, DR. Can you say what is common in IR, CR, DR? Risk. Risk can happen in how many levels? Gone. Two levels. Overall FS or assertion level, ABCD. Okay. Inherent risk is susceptible before control. Control risk is because control fails to detect, prevent. Detection risk is audit procedure fails. Can you say it once more, please? Audit risk है, inherent risk, control risk, your last risk I forgot. What? Detection risk. Now, very easy to learn. In all, there is risk. What? Susceptibility, that. Inherent risk is susceptibility, vulnerability, prone. That either overall FS or account balance, class of transaction, disclosure. Subject to. Susceptibility means vulnerability, easily affected. Before considering internal control. The inherent risk happens because of internal, external factors are both. Susceptibility means vulnerable, prone, easily affected. Anaga external, is it only external? Very good. It can happen either because of internal or it can be even because of external. I'll give one example. Internal means nature of business or external. Like I said, for an example, technology changes. So it can be both. Now come to the next one. Control risk. And what is control risk? Risk that nature of business. Nature of business means characteristics. It can happen because of characteristics of business also. Nature means characteristics. And I come to the next one. Control risk. And what is control risk? Risk that same only misstatement may occur in same overall FS or account balance, class of transaction, disclosure, which is not detected, prevented, corrected. by failure of internal control on a timely basis. Are we clear? Sherry. Can you come to the last one? DR, detection risk. Same risk that misstatement may occur in overall FS or account balance, class of transaction, disclosure, which is not detected by audit procedure. Now, this detection risk is divided into two. Support, guys. It can be sampling risk. You selected a inappropriate sample and opinion gone wrong. Or it can be non-sampling risk. Other than sample is erroneous. Sampling risk, non-sampling risk. Which essay came to your mind? Hey, you guys were ready to say 5:30. Smart. Isn't it easy? But don't draw like this for the exam. Exam in a sentence. This is for you to study. See, in all there is a common factor. Overall FS, ABCD, misstatement. Overall FS, ABCD, misstatement. You saw? Now, what is the difference? This is susceptible, prone, before control. This is internal control fails. This is audit procedure fails. And if someone is asking you, a ROMM how many component? ROMM how many component? 2. IR and CR. Audit risk in 3. IR, CR, DR. Detection risk 2. Internal control. That's not there in our session, but still. 5. CRIMI. Your control environment, RAP, information system, monitoring, control activity entities. You are very bad, guys. Why didn't you remind me? Array, shushu, you have to document. What will you document? Whenever there is a risk assessment, first you will document discussion with the management, a team. Can someone reply? Divya, Priyanka, discussion with management happens in completion performing stage. This is only initial stage of audit. So here you will discuss with team, engagement team. Discussion with management is later on. Next is what? Understanding of what you understood in this essay. Understanding of entity, environment, risk, mainly about internal controls. Now from essay 315, route goes to, which is not in our session. From essay 315, train goes to next. Very good. 3:30. Why? 3:30 you will perform FAP. Why? To respond to risk. Are you clear? I'll show the screen, but let me know by saying a reply. With that, risk assessment is nothing not even know. Risk assessment is over. Smile. Sharp 1 hour. Life is small. I mean, short. Smaller, less short. You have to celebrate, da. Can I ask you? I don't know. I have a skepticism. Can I ask you few questions? Whether it is inherent risk, control risk, detection risk, can I ask you? And I wanted you to be on your foot, on your mark, get set, go. Selection of wrong sample. Sample wrong. Your options are IR, CR, DR, none. Okay, DR. Cashier colluded. Okay, colluded with the manager to suppress sales. That is internal control weakness, so CR. Auditor performed more inquiry and observation rather than analytical. Our procedure goes wrong, da. So DR. In case of a mobile industry, I think I told you, technology becomes outdated. If technology is outdated, what happens? Stock is overvalued. IR. Lack of sufficient working capital to continuing operations. Declining industry characterized by large number of failures. Character, it will affect going concern. Someone asked me nature of business. Character, da, IR. Financial transaction that require complex calculation. And there are accounting estimates like provision. Can accounting estimate be correct? No. It's a nature of transaction. Varsha? No. Answer is someone else was saying. You 1, 2, 3. Who's that? And answer is IR. Why? Because complex calculation, financial misstatement can come. So it is risk. Can control prevent? No. Accounting estimate, it may go wrong. Control cannot prevent. Now, misinterpreting the results of audit procedure. DR. But a high value of inventory. It is nature. Nature, da. IR. Last. But it's IR. Adverse publicity. Uh-oh. And adverse publicity is none. Not an audit risk. You know why? Because of adverse publicity, is there a material misstatement in FS? Can someone say? Ma'am, future sales will be affected. Agreed. But is there a MM in FS? Nidhi, entity impacting is not my question. My question in audit risk is there an MM in FS? Is there a misstatement? Tettundo. I said to be an audit risk, primary condition is FS should be misstated. As far there is no misstatement, none. Maybe you understood? Impact in entity management has to say, my impact is only in FS. Another example, child labor. We call it as Balavela. Child labor. Companies employing child labor, none. If technology is outdated, closing stock will be overvalued. That's why IR. Are you clear? So guys, put the BGM. BGM da, with that over. Where's the BGM? Can you hear? No. enough, 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 enough. So guys, take rest. You have ICA material with you? Oh, yeah. If you have, you can take. Otherwise, 1 second. 1 second, give me. Can you see which chapter, which film was going on, which cinema? Come on, chapter 3, right? This is chapter 3. Can you take out material and say took, taken, putti, ala putti, I mean, take da. I say material only I asked you to take. What else? You have a pen or highlighter with you? Okay. Now I'll just run through what happened. Why calling ma'am? Bhumi, why? Okay, Ada, I'm running through, so kindly mark important sentence. I'm just running through. Just mark it and read it later on. See, first I say material. 1 second. 1 second, 1 second, 1 second. Mine got stuck. 1 second, I'll just open again. Where is my... I got. Screen gone, screen came. Okay. And so this is the first page, right? In chapter number 3. First, audit risk meaning. Revision, revision. Come on, revision. I have to mark it in 7 minutes. Time starts now. Mark it. Audit risk. Risk that inappropriate opinion when FSR misstated. Clear? Now next. In another slang, what we said in another slang, audit is expressing what opinion? Unmodified opinion when FSR misstated. Okay. Then we linked with don't you remember we linked with SA 200? Auditor can give only a reasonable conclusion. Do you remember? We linked inherent limitation. Audit risk will be always there. Inherent limitation SA 200. Don't you remember that? Same only they have repeated. Then, didn't we put a definition? Audit risk is equal to ROMM into DR. Didn't we put that formula? Okay, that's the first page. Okay, then continue. Didn't we write this? ROMM means there's a probability that fraud or error prior to audit. Didn't we say that? Isn't it before audit? Okay. Next, what is misstatement? It's a difference between presentation, disclosure, amount, classification between AFRF and the amount in FS. Some essay we linked. Essay. Which essay we linked? 450. And can you all reply? First page of ICA material. Are you okay? Come on. Okay, so scroll, 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 scroll. These are the examples of misstatement. Actually, we study this in essay 450. Actually, this should be read with the 450. These are the examples of misstatement. In fact, it is more relevant for essay 450. Why 315 is risk, 450 is misstatements. So this should be read more with essay 450. Can you acknowledge whether you understood that? See, 350 is risk only, na. 450 only we say about misstatement. This you should be reading with 450. Sherry. Now, risk of material misstatement happens in how many levels we said? 2 levels. Overall FS. Or we said na pervasively or assertion level, which is specific. Now, continue. Components of risk of material misstatement. ROMM has inherent risk and control risk. Can you reply whether second page of ICA material is okay? And after every page, I want to reply. Hello. Okay. Third. Now they are saying about IR. IR. What is IR? IR is, we said na, susceptibility. Same definition only. Class of transaction before considering any control. So here, before internal control, misstatement can come. Didn't we say this examples when I asked you complex calculations? You asked me, no, complex calculation, how? Then I said it is IR. Now, okay. Auditor has to assess inherent risk. Okay. Now, inherent risk has to be assessed for designing TOC and SAP. And I marked that point. We didn't write then. Now I'm saying. And if inherent risk is more TOC and more SAP, less SAP and less TOC. If inherent risk is more, you have to perform more TOC and SAP. We also said no, inherent risk can happen because of external circumstances like technology. Now, these are the example which I said. You remember that 9 or 10 examples I asked, like business failure, complex transactions. Don't you remember that 9 examples we said? Can you reply whether third page is okay? Don't run off, don't sleep off. Come on. Next they are talking about, at our next page, come on, take. They're talking about controlled risk. What is controlled risk? Risk that misstatement is there, which is not detected, prevented, or corrected by controls. Meaning, internal control is existing and operating, but it is not efficient. Meaning, deficiencies is there. Don't you remember we said we linked with 265? Meaning, see this sentence? Can you read? When internal control is efficient, control risk is, if internal control is efficient, control risk is low. Then these are the examples. Example we have already discussed, you can read through. Examples, please read. They can ask MCQ. Can you ask me to proceed if this much is clear? Then we were talking about which risk da. Now this will be effective only if you're having ICA material. Detection risk. Risk that audit procedures performed by the auditor will not reduce to acceptable low level. Meaning audit procedure fails. Now audit risk, detection risk is divided into sampling risk, non-sampling risk. Let us link it with essay 530. Correct. These are the examples. Examples, please read and keep, very important for MCQ. Didn't we say this sentence? Detection risk may be reduced by increasing the area of testing larger sample, and by experienced audit team? Yes. Guys, audit risk, what is not included? Didn't we say that 4 or 5 examples, 4 examples, business risk won't come? Financial statements, no material misstatement, but we gave inappropriate opinion. All these are not included in audit risk. Hello, can you reply whether this much is okay? Hello, 9 pages, da. Then we said assessment of risk is a matter of APJ and not rather than precise measurement. Are you clear with the first part of ICA material? So this was the box we said. ROMM has 2 components, DR has 2, audit risk has 3. Which page of ICA material are you in? Chapter 3, page number 9. Can you take page 10? And may I have a reply? Am I going fast? Are you able to see the ICA material? Because unless you see ICA material or some material, but I feel ICA material is the Bible. That's why I'm showing you ICA. Fine. So can I proceed? So combined risk. This is the formula, da. Formula. You remember? Audit risk is equal to ROMM into DR. Then we split this. Okay. Then they have given illustration. Okay. Okay. Can we do test your understanding question, please? Are you ready for this? And if you are ready, put R. No, everyone has to put. Why you should have all the fun. I will also have fun. Now, can you read? Wear and Tear Private Limited is a startup company engaged in providing holistic solution to problem of paddy stubble burning, mainly catering to the needs of farmers of North. Due to importance given by government, companies have entered into market in past few years. Many of the company have not been successful. As an auditor, can you spot the component of risk involved? Can you state which component of risk is involved? Very good. Answer is, why only few saying? Answer is, it is something which is happening before your audit, na? So answer is IR. Don't you think it happens because of nature of business? Its characteristics? And now my question is, simply saying IR, this is not an MCQ. It's a descriptive question. How will you answer in the exam hall? If it is for 3 marks or so, put the heading risk of material misstatement. Heading. Then you write as per essay. Actually, essay 200 or 315. 315 will assessing IRCR DR 200 also comes. As per 200, auditor gives only a what? Reasonable assurance, not absolute. So there can be a risk. Then 315, auditor has to identify and assess risk. Then risk has 3 components, IR, CR, DR. Explain only IR definition. Don't sit and write everything. Then write in the given case. Therefore, conclusion. Since this company has engaged in holistic, it is the characteristics of the business. Therefore, the risk involved is inherent risk. Can you reply whether you understood? Before we start materiality, I will give you rest of 5 minutes. Huh? Okay. Next. Company has devised control that inventory of perishable goods is stored in appropriate condition. It is controlled environment to prevent damages. Responsibility is fixed on 2% to monitor the environment using sensors. Identify components involved. Control risk. Presentation is same. Instead of IR, put CR. You understood now? Next. Sri Foods Private Limited engaged in manufacturing garlic bread. Hungry? The auditors of company planned procedures in respect of recognition of revenue. There's a possibility that revenue is not identified by procedure. Which risk? Very good, DR. But one request is there. Ask me now what request. Presentation is same as per above. but you should explain both sampling riskum, non-sampling riskum. You write DR. DR comprises of sampling risk, non-sampling also you have to write. Cherry, can I continue? And I'll give you 5 minutes break after I finish risk assessment. Now, then they are starting with essay 315. See the word identifying and assessing the risk. Are you there with me? Hello? Okay. Then, yeah, 315. See, we said, auditor has to identify risk in 2 levels. Let us repeat. Already in ICA material above, they said again, they are saying, our Amma has, ICA is our mother. So you should accept this. They are saying in 2 levels. Okay. So for that, you should obtain understanding of 3 things. Didn't I say 3 things? Entity, environment, control. Now, certain risk will affect the entire FS pervasively. Did you mark till here? Okay. Now, risk of material misstatement means what can go wrong. Possibility of misstatements. It can be one or multiple. This 2 sentence, can you mark it? See, Romum means it's a possibility of misstatement. What can go wrong? It can be either one or multiple. Onno koodudalo. Now, we were talking about RAP, risk assessment procedure. Okay, why? To identify and assess the risk. We perform risk assessment procedure. Okay, let us see the sentence. Risk assessment procedure by themselves do not provide sufficient evidence. Can you say the logic? If RAP could have provided you with all evidence, SAP is useless, no? RAP-ന് എല്ലാം കൊടുക്കാൻ പറ്റിയിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ SAP വേണ്ടല്ലോടാ. Hello, can you reply? So they say risk assessment procedure does not provide you with sufficient evidence. Then didn't we say risk assessment procedure comprises of 4 things: inquiry, second, analytical, observation, inspection. 4. They have put it as 3. Now, inquiry is, don't you remember, management and others within the entity? And they have given the list, see? I think we have talked this. Inquiry with the internal audit personnel, inquiry with the employee, inquiry with which personnel? In-house personnel, inquiry with the marketing, risk management, information system personnel, but inquiry with the external is not there. Are you following? Then, analytical procedure we said. Analytical is just essay 520. Unusual or unexpected relationship 520. Then observation and inspection. At which page are you? Which page da essay material? 15, huh? Okay, what is inspection? In essay 315 we study. What is inspection actually? Inspection means it is examination of, oh my God, my thing got stuck. Examination of documents, right? 1 second, my thing got stuck. At times it will get stuck. 1 second. 1 second. Okay, I think it's so inspection means what? Examination of documents prepared by management or. Now, see, information obtained from RAP is used as evidence. The RAP is heard under which other essay? Which other essay talks about RAP? Other than 315, which other essay talks about RAP? 500. 330 Vismaya, it is FAPDA. 500 why? RAP is also an evidence. Can we wind up our this risk assessment in 2 minutes by discussing these two? Okay. Can you proceed? Jojo Limited is planning to list on stock exchange. As an auditor of Jojo, identify any one reason in increased risk. And actually, 4 and 5 read together. On pursuing the financials of Jojo, it was observed that current ratio has improved from 1 is to 2, 1.2 is to 1 to 1.75 is to 1. What kind of RAP is performed? Has it any relationship with listing in stock exchange? And a RAP comprises of inquiry, inspection, observation, analytical. Here ratio. Ratio is inquiry, inspection, observation, analytical. Very good. It is analytical. Now, ratio improved. Is there any relationship with listing? For listing, they want to obtain more response. Maybe it is a window dressing. Window dressing means what? To obtain good response, they would have shown a fake, correct, fake or bogus, manipulated ratio. How to present this answer? Put a heading, RAP. As per essay 315, can you write an intro para? Auditor shall identify and assess the risk of material misstatement through understanding entity environment control by performing RAP. Now, elaborate. RAP, this is the elaboration. RAP comprises of, Adarsh, no need. RAP comprises of inquiry, inspection, observation, analytical. This is the part where you will elaborate. Then in the given case, this you have to elaborate. They want to go for listing, so their ratio increased. So what will be your conclusion? There is a possibility that to obtain good response, they would have shown what? Improved current ratio. Maybe current ratio is manipulated. Are you clear with? So, guys, that's it. Now we'll take sharp 4 minutes rest. 5th minute we'll start. So, at our session topic, risk assessment, materiality. So, risk assessment over, and for your confidence only, I showed you and I discussed the test your understanding. Are you okay? See, I always feel first you have to understand the concept, then go through the ICA material, then it will be pakka. So first we went through our concept now. I said all the concept in detail, then go through and mark it with your pen or pencil the material. Okay. So take a break, take a Kit Kat. Yeah, understanding of entity I've already taken that. Already I've taken that topic. Where is that? See, this topic I've already taken. For those who are asking, understanding the entity and its environment. See, 315. You remember as per essay 315, you should obtain understanding of. We said, na, you have to obtain understanding of what owners, what operations, what products, legal environment, what is the regulatory framework, what policies. See, this list I think I discussed. Operations, ownership, governance structure, types of investment, how it is financed. I think I've taken this. Why are you understanding the entity? To understand the complex structure so that he can assess the risk. And some those people have asked. If you see entity is objective, then I think I said na, understanding the entity is not a. I think all those are finished. Understanding of entity is a continuous process which has to be updated. That topic is also over. So only topic which is pending for the session is regarding. And what is the next session? Regarding what? Materiality. Okay. So just that because of time short, I didn't mark that. Okay. So take a break, take a Kit Kat. 4 minutes, a sharp fourth minute. Come back. See guys. Hello. Let me say something. Maybe not generalizing, but still, most of the students are in a hurry to study. Study the concepts, read the material well, very, 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 very good. That's fine. That is how it should be. But the thing is, can you reply? Have you been with the pen and paper? Have you sat down? Have you taken a question? Have you tried out like it is for the exam? Those people are there. Can you reply? And then have you compared with IC answers? This doesn't end with one day. This doesn't end with one day. You have to do it on a consistent basis. You know, lot of things, rapid class, all these class, but I feel students are not doing the practice. That's the main place where they lack. You have to sit with the pen, you have to sit with the paper, you have to start writing. Then only you will understand how where you are making the mistake. But students are saying, ma'am, let's finish. Okay, ma'am, let's finish. Then we will start to revise. Then we will start to write. Can you say, will you get time to revise? Will you get time to write after you complete the entire syllabus? Tell me frankly, touch your mind and say, guys. CA syllabus is so vast. That is our specialty. See, if you have got 5 hours for auditing, not for auditing, 5 hours for accounts exam, it will be like more than 70 to 80% of the students will pass. So our target is 3 hours how to write accounts. Well, like that in auditing, ours is like kind of okay, but how to present in a way which I say once. I'll say one more thing. In 10th standard, how many mock exam you did? Tell me. 10th. 10th standard, you would have done minimum 2 or 3 exams. Right now, you know something. My son, I have a son who's studying in 6th standard. Okay. He's in Cambridge syllabus. So they had introduced exam only in the 6th standard. Okay. So he had just had, they have some other schema. He just had exams just now. Last week only he had exam. Even before that exam, they gave a mock, like this is how a question paper you sit and write and submit. But for a 6th standard student, not even half yearly, not even quarterly, just they're doing it. Here we are going to write the CA exam, which is a professional, one of the toughest course. I don't feel it's toughest course, but meant for tough people. We are not writing mock. So what will happen if we don't write mock? Our exams will be like a mock, and second attempt we will rectify. Do you understand? Don't feel bad, but I'm just saying what I felt out of my heart because 50% or majority of them were whom I know, they're giving concentration to their studies, concentration in reading the material, concentration in Another thing is they will buy some question bank or they will buy ICI, RTP, MTP, read. Very good reading. But reading is 50%, 50% is what you have to write. You know, management expert, essay, or I say essay. Which essay deals with management expert? 500. അതറിയാം അത് தெரியும் you know that well. But when you keep a pen and paper, now you write 2 3 sentences about management expert. You said 500 na, write 4 sentences and let me know. Tell me now, you said 500 correctly, very good, but can you write? Auditor shall use the work of management expert provided he will be held solely responsible. He cannot relieve from the responsibility. Hence, auditor shall assess the competence, capability, objective of expert. He should obtain understanding of the expert. He should see whether the expert work is appropriate for the work for the audit, completeness, precision, etc. If these word has to come, reading will help only 50%. Rest 50 is your presentation. Makla, are you there with me? Don't think I'm blaming. I'm just asking you to practice and write. I mean, practice writing should go with the studies and not after studies. Two things, da. Revision should go with the studies. Writing practice should go with the studies. Even MTP, RTP, I do discuss. Those who have attended or seen in YouTube, you know. I don't just take the ICA key and read. I say first part should be like this. For the intro part should be like this. Presentation should be like this. Do you remember any one of you who have attended? See, like that, when you get a question, you should be able to frame. നിങ്ങൾ ഓർക്കണം, what will you write in first part? Anyway, your break time is over. So guys, I'm not pinpointing the mistake. I want each and every one of you to pass audit with good marks, not just pass, with good marks. Because auditing is not that scary subject. Only thing, like you do for accounts, you sit and practice. Like you do for what you call costing or whatever it is, you also sit and practice. Daily keep timer of 10 to 20 minutes, do 2 questions, 10 minutes, a question. Okay. Take rest for 1 minute, da. I gave you rest time and I was talking because someone asked. I'm sorry. All of you became so serious. Smile. ഇല്ലേ ചിരിക്കൂല്ലേ And guys, last one more thing. With that, I'll start up. You have to enjoy what you do. You have to love what you do. So start loving the subject. Love പ്രേമിക്കൂ. Love പണ്ണുங்கടാ what subject. Okay. Unless you love what you do, it won't love you back now. Now don't say it's a one-way traffic, it is not loving back, please. Find some way to love. Okay, with those words. 10 seconds. Let me know by saying proceed, materiality. Who all are eating dinner there? Only after class dinner. Okay, I believed. Cherry. No. You guys are replying, so you should not be able to eat now. Okay. So, can we start? Okay. 1 second. Okay. Materiality was the next one. Which essay is materiality? Already it's written. Materiality, essay 320. Now let's take one example. I'm just taking some random name. Our 1 second. Whenever I stop share, it gets stuck. I'll reshare it. Okay. Sorry for the inconvenience. Okay, our one example, CA Danya. Okay. CA Danya is the auditor of Puttu Limited. Okay. One company. Assume turnover is, say, how much, Danya? How much? 10 crore? Or you want to increase, huh? Enough. 20 crore. Fine. Danya, how much will you fix as materiality? Others, you can say, I'm just putting her name as example. Others, can you say, what is the materiality? Any amount you said up. Materiality of FS. She says 5 lakh. Others, how much amount? 2 crore, that's too much. Okay, somewhere you put around 2 crore is too much, Divya. What is the meaning of 2 crore, you know? You will only take transaction above 2 crore. No. Can I put somewhere around 2 lakh? 1% or something like that? 2 lakh I will fix. When will you fix this, Danya? You will fix this materiality in which phase? Planning. Now, once she is performing, she finds good company, risk is less. She will revise it to 4 lakh or 1 lakh. If risk is less, she will revise it to. While performing, she finds very good company, control is perfect, so she may revise it to 4 lakh. Vidusha, if everything is proper, you can see only more than 4 lakh. Now, if risk is more, she may revise it to 1 lakh. This revision happens in eighth phase. Which phase the revision happens? Performing, right? Planning phase she will determine. Performing phase she will revise. So materiality is there in 2 phases. Can you say which are the 2 phases? Planning and performing. Now, very good. Now, can you say the name of the essay? With the example, can you say the name? Danya's example. Can you say the name? One word, materiality. Where? Just now we said she fixed 2 lakh in planning and she revised it to 4 lakh or 1 lakh in performing. So materiality in planning and performing of audit. Now, do you understand the logic of this essay name? Materiality in planning phase she will determine. At a planning she will determine. Okay, 2 lakh. Performing she will revise. Kanmanis, Makla, start. One word, one answer. Will you support like you did for 315? Yes or no? Yes. So start. An item is said to be material if, assume in the company where Danya is doing audit, an item is there 10 lakh. Material or immaterial? Material. If that is misstated or omitted, തെറ്റിയാലോ വിട്ടുപോയാലോ തപ്പാനാലോ വിട്ടുപോനാലോ, it will affect whose what? User's decision making. Had the user known this, they would not have invested in the company. You learn in AS1, na? Materiality, substance over form, prudence, same meaning. Can you say An item is said to be material. An item is material if its misstatement or one more word, omission affects. What it affects? Affects decision making of whom? Users of FS. Okay. Now, who will fix materiality? Who will fix the materiality? Auditor, management. Auditor, come on. Auditor based on APJ. APJ. Auditor's professional judgment. See, when I asked materiality, she was saying 5 lakh. I fixed 2 lakh. Someone said 1 lakh. When I fix, I will assume that. But I will assume 4 things about users. That is first expected question. Once they have asked, auditor user ne patti endu assume ചെയ്യും? What auditor will assume about users? 4 things. What you will assume da? I'm doing audit. Danya is doing audit of Puttu Limited. So Danya will assume that users of FS have knowledge about. Correct. They have knowledge about business. Second, they know that business is uncertain. They know that FS is prepared as per FS each and everything they won't show. FS is prepared as per materiality. And users make decision based on information in FS. And these 4 things, who assumes about whom? Auditor assumes about user. So that was once asked, what auditor assumes about users? That they have knowledge about the business. They know that business is uncertain. They know that FS are prepared as per materiality and they take the decision based on information in FS. Can you say proceed? Come on, challo, makla. And a materiality can be either. See, in our example, how much Danya fixed? Danya 2 lakh. 10 lakh material, immaterial. Material when taken individually. Whereas there is an amount of 50,000. Actually, it is immaterial. Like this, if there were 10 amounts which is wrong, in aggregate, it becomes what? Material. So this aggregate materiality is referred in some other term. Individually, it is not material. Aggregately, it is material. If you didn't see, that misstatement will be more. And it's called as performance. Hello? Performance. Materiality. Why no one is saying? Do you understand that? Meaning here, 50,000 is immaterial. Da? Actually, had she left this, it is only 50,000. Like this, 10 amounts were there. If she left this, undetected, uncorrected misstatement would exceed 2 lakh. That is called as performance. Individually material alla, aggregated edukkum material alle, adum nokande. So, adu mattume edutha material kediyadu. But if you had left this, aggregate of uncorrected, undetected misstatement would exceed 2 lakh. Can you all reply whether you understood that? No, others also, can you reply? Sure. Infosys materiality is somewhere above 1 crore. Our Puttu Limited, she fixed only 2 lakh. It depends upon what and what of the entity. It depends upon the nature, size, or both. So materiality depends upon the nature, size, or both. But guys, materiality, there is one phrase, materiality is not always a matter of relative size. Matter of relative size. Danya, you fix 2 lakh kutta. You are doing audit of tax audit. Cash payment, how much you will fix? 10,000, right? Hello? PGBP, 48.3 disallowance. Do you know that? Juju. Here, is it a relative size? No, even here 10,000 became material, right? So materiality, it is not just size. It also depends upon the nature also. Are we clear? Always materiality is not quantitative. It depends upon the nature also. And a materiality auditor fix, thinking who in mind. He keep who in mind. Are Vijayachita, whom? He thinks about whom? Users. Does he think about common users or specific user? In our Danya case, she thinks about user Priyanka, user Anaga. Does she think specifically or general, common? Investors, debtors, only common. So materiality is based on common user and not specific or individual user. How to fix materiality, thinking of each users. Tell me. Then for Infosys, when you will complete the audit, how many users? Common only, not specific. Materiality is there in AFRF. AFRF, Schedule 3. Anyone? You've studied in accounts also. Any revenue or expense, if it exceeds 1 lakh or 1% of total operations, should be separately disclosed. And why? If a revenue or an expense exceeds more than 1 lakh or 1%, it's a material item, it should be separately disclosed. Are we clear? Not exactly, Nidhi. Or there is a shareholder called as Jobin. Okay. He is holding more than 5% of total. Jobin എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ ഒരു shareholder. Jobin is a shareholder. He is holding more than 5%. He is a material shareholder. His details should be separately disclosed. Whenever numerics comes, be careful. They can ask you in mostly MCQ. I will give you 1 minute rest after this. So materiality is applied in Anjali. For Schedule 3, it is more than 5%. The Schedule 3 requirement. Companies Act. Okay, so materiality is applied in dash and dash of audit. Essay named planning of audit you will determine and performing. Okay, so from this, mainly they can ask you questions of, see, what auditor assumes about users, descriptive. Then some kind of MCQ from this. Materiality is not always Then MCQ from this 1 lakh, 1%, 5%. Yeah, these are the main things. Can you all reply whether you are with me and you are following? Let me see who all will reply. I will, come on. All good? Okay, 30 seconds. After that, let's proceed to one more, few more things are there. Then we have to go back to ICI material. Then one question. If time permits, one MCQ case study. So let me know. Performance materiality. Which language you want me to say? Who's asking loud? Eda, English, okay. Eda, say you fix 2 lakh or Tamila, cherry. You fix 2 lakh. 50,000 order one item. You said it is immaterial, you left off. இது மாதிரி 10 items இருக்கு. 50,000 into 10, it becomes 5 lakh. Had you not seen this 50,000 into 10, 5 lakh, more than 2 lakh misstatement would come. Now here, 50,000 is also material. This is called as performance materiality, lower. அது பார்க்காம விட்டிருந்தா, had you not seen, നോക്കിയില്ലായിരുന്നുവെങ്കിൽ, aggregate misstatement would have exceeded 2 lakh. You understood? Hello, I gave you 10, 20 seconds to say me proceed, and you guys are sitting like that. What's this, guys? Life is a race, da. Run, 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 run. Don't stop. Life is a race. Keep running, na. Okay. So can I proceed? I have 4 more points to add. Vena, vendio, venama, venama. Want or not? Okay. See, guys, materiality. We determine in which stage? Planning. And in performing, at our Danya determined, where is Danya? Danya, 2 lakh. Then she revised to 4 lakh and 1 lakh, na. So when will she revise? I'll say in 2, 3 languages, huh? എടാ എന്തോ അറിഞ്ഞു. ഇത് ആദ്യമേ അറിഞ്ഞിരുന്നുവെങ്കിൽ 2 ലാഖിന് പകരം 1 ലാഖ് ഫിക്സ് ചെയ്തേനെ. ഇപ്പൊ റിവൈസ് ചെയ്യും. ധന്യ என்னமோ தெரிஞ்சா. இது ஃபர்ஸ்டே தெரிஞ்சிருந்தா instead of 2 lakh she would have fixed 1 lakh. இப்போ ரிவைஸ் பண்ணுங்க. எடா Danya came to know a fact. Had she known this fact earlier, instead of fixing 2 lakh, she would have fixed 1 lakh. Right now, what she can do? Revise. Now, can you say it in auditing language? When will you revise? In the event of becoming aware of a fact that would have caused to fix, had she known earlier, would have caused the auditor to fix different materiality initially. First, if you had known, she would have fixed different materiality initially. Now, what she will do? She will revise the materiality. Did you understand that sentence? In the event of becoming aware of a fact that would have caused the auditor to fix different materiality initially. Now she will revise. So when she will revise, performing. In performing, when changes in circumstances, then new events or conditions, better understanding of entity. Out of that, they can ask you in descriptive. Can you reply whether you understood that? Materiality risk determined first. Anyone? Risk materiality risk determined first. Risk materiality, only two answer. Answer is materiality is determined before risk. Why? ROMM. M stands for risk. Not only that, as per SA 200, you are giving reasonable assurance of no MM. Do you understand? Risk of material misstatement, ROMM, M is material. So first you have to determine materiality, then only ROMM. So materiality is determined before risk. So materiality is the basis. Adisthanam, that is a basis for, identifying. And unless you fix materiality, identifying and assessing risk. Designing nature, timing and extent of RAP, nature, timing and extent of FAP. Do you understand? ROMM M is risk. So unless you fix materiality, how you are going to see risk of material misstatement? So materiality is a basis. Then only you can see this. ROMM 31 essay. RAP ROMM 315. FAPA 330. Now, what is the relationship between materiality and risk? Can you support? What is the relationship between materiality and risk? Direct or inverse? Why only inversely related? May I know the logic? More material item, more audit procedure, more procedure, risk less. That's right. Hey Danya, don't forget to document what all she will document. First, 2 lakh da. What is 2 lakh? Materiality of FS. Will materiality of balance sheet, P&L notes be same? Different softwares are available to fix materiality. It's called as CAT. So materiality with respect to account balance, class of transaction, disclosure. Then aggregate materiality, performance materiality. Now Danya, if there is any changes, you have to document that also. Changes. Document. Essay. Changes or revision. 320. Very good. And if this much is okay, can you say proceed? Only one more thing. Very, very, very important. They can ask you a descriptive question. Fix the materiality. Danya, you fix, right? What factors will you keep in mind? Factors affecting materiality benchmark. Benchmark means standard. So there are 5 factors, da. Can you support me? First, it depends upon the nature of entity. For manufacturing entity, it's different. Now, what are the factors which affects the materiality benchmark, Anjali? Factors affecting materiality benchmark. Given a situation, they will ask you. Okay. Nature of entity, size. For Infosys, it's somewhere above 1 crore. It may be. Here she fixed 2 lakh. Depends upon the life cycle and it depends upon the economic environment. Now, for tax audit, she fixed 10,000 for cash payment. For tax audit, user is income tax. User's requirement. Mind you, materiality is something which affects users. And for asset, for liability, for revenue, for expense, it will be different. So it differs for items in FS. Then it depends upon organizations, ownership structure. And for a private company, it will be different, public company, and the way it is financed. And it depends upon the relative. You know that word? Volatility of benchmark. Volatility means changes. And I don't show law of diminishing marginal utility. Come on, be with me. These are the 5 factors which affects materiality benchmark: nature, size, life cycle, economic environment, company, user, items in FS, asset, liability, revenue, expense. Then structure, finance, private company, public company. Volatility is change. Can you fix materiality as a percentage of asset? Total asset is 10 crore. 1% of that. Last part, over. Yes or no? Yes. Percentage of profit? Yes. Percentage of turnover? Yes. Anything can be used. But one thing is there. சோதிக்கு கேளுங்களேன். Ask me what now? This profit is volatile. Have you heard about seasonal industry? 1 month huge profit, another month no profit, like that. If profit is volatile, meaning not a stable, can you use profit as a benchmark? And if you use profit, then your materiality will be also fluctuating. If profit is volatile, don't use profit, use other benchmark, meaning other than profit you use, like asset. So in this revision, very important. Factors, very important. MCQ, if profit is not volatile, use other benchmark. Like that. With that, hello. Hello. With that, hiyo. Yeah. Where's the BGM? உள்ள வந்தா பவரடி அண்ணன் யாரு? Oh. Oh. Ada, you have ICA material with you, or you closed it and class over, we are going, you kept it away? You closed it, kept it in this shelf? Da. It's with us. Take, guys. Page number, please. Everything closed. Like in the school, no? When that time is up, packed, pack, and leaving. What is this, da? School or no? Page 16. Can we mark, run through? It's just running through. So materiality. So basically materiality is essay. 320. As we said, materiality is in planning and performing audit. Meaning, we said, if it is misstated or omitted, it will affect decision of users. Then we said, our objective is reasonable assurance of no MM. I said essay 200. Okay, so that's essay 200. That's it. Do you remember the sentence? Materiality is not always a matter of relative size. Do you remember that sentence I said? Even 10,000 rupees becomes material. And at which page? Page 17 did you reach? Then I was asking you many times, who has to fix, who has to fix Danya? So materiality is a responsibility of auditor. Okay. Now just read these things. It's a repeat, da. Don't need to mark again. Already we have said. Okay. Uh, a decision of users of FS. hmm, It is affected by, you remember, affected by nature, size, or both. Okay, judgments of materiality is based on common users' needs and not specific. And are you listening? Are you following? So, materiality is also a matter of AFRF, applicable financial reporting framework. And now, can you change the page? Page 18. So, materiality is the basis for three things. Why? We said in our flow, first, identifying risk. Second, designing RAP. Third, FAP. I think first this should come. Second, third. I just said my order. See, why materiality? Because auditor practically cannot design procedure for every area. He has to fix materiality. Materiality is based on auditors' professional. Hello? Auditors' professional judgment. Then didn't we say the example of Schedule 3? Schedule 3, an item which exceeds 1 lakh or 1% should be separately disclosed. Then someone asked me, 5% of share should be separately disclosed. This is materiality in AFRF, I mean Schedule 3. Change page. Which page are you in? 19, And we will assume some things about users. Uh, what? Auditor assumes about users. How many things he will assume? Four things. And Priyanka, next page. What? They have knowledge about the business. They understand FS are prepared as per materiality, recognize uncertainty. They make decision based on information in FS. Then didn't we say about performance materiality? Performance means in our example, how much? 2 lakh is materiality. Performance materiality is 50,000. Meaning at less than materiality. Why? Aggregate of uncorrected, undetected misstatement would exceed materiality. Meaning 50,000 my example. And do you remember? 50,000 into 10 amount, 5 lakh. Hadn't we seen this, aggregate of misstatement would be more than 2 lakh. And are you following? So materiality is basically there in two phases. Materiality is determined in which phase? Planning. Will it be same for balance sheet P&L? No, it will depends upon account balance, class of transaction, disclosure. The last part which we said, factors which affects materiality benchmark factors. Can you see the factors? What factors we said in our flow? Nature of entity, life cycle, uh, economic environment. Then we said elements of FS, users requirement, ownership structure, volatility. Then we said, no, you can use materiality as a percentage of total profit revenue. You can use anything as the benchmark. Are you clear? So benchmark depends upon your data, what data you need. It can be prior period, budget, anything you can take it as a benchmark. Whatever it is, materiality is judgment. You can fix as 5%, you can fix as 1%. That is only example. No need to study as such, that's only example. No need to study that. I mean, it's only example. Yo, it is running. Okay. And which page are you in? Page. Okay, page number 22 you reached. Okay, materiality for ABCD. So it depends upon the law, depends upon disclosure, attention of users. That's what I said. 10,000 rupees. It is legal requirement, 48.3. That becomes material. When will you revise? Performance phase. Performance phase means what? Audit progresses. Now, finally, you have to document. What all you will document? Materiality you will document. Materiality for ABCD, performance, any revision. Now, what is the relationship between materiality and risk? Now, materiality and risk inversely related. That's what they have said here. They have said about SA 200. Then they said about audit risk. See, audit risk definition, they said this is about SA 200, reasonable assurance. Then they said, all this we have discussed. Materiality is a basis for, you remember these 3 points we have already discussed above. So these are repeated. So there is an inverse relationship. So to conclude, can you see the test your understanding 6? Hello? CA Raja is the auditor of Buildwell Forging Private Limited having a revenue of 25 crore. Company has been sanctioned a term of 50 lakh from the bank. However, as at the end, only 1 lakh was availed. The FS do not disclose the nature of security against which loan is taken. Schedule 3 requires disclosure. Discuss whether non-disclosure of nature of security is material. 25 crores da, not even 1%. Do you need to disclose? Not even 1%. Do you need to disclose? Yes or no? Answer is yes. And how many times I said, even we marked, no APJ. If it is a statutory requirement, if it is a legal requirement, you have to disclose. See, it is a mandatory as per Schedule 3. I said now 48.3 is Income Tax Act. Even though 10,000 is immaterial, we are seeing because it is Income Tax Act. Here Schedule 3 says to disclose. So you have to disclose. Do you understand? So guys, understanding of the entity is SA 315, which we have already finished. So guys, I think that's it. Okay, I think time up now. So with the concept which we have discussed, I think easily you can go for the MCQ. Don't you think? With the concept, you can go for the MCQ. Are we correct? So I always feel first you have to understand. I don't know whether you agree with me or disagree, whatever it is, you have to first go with the concept. So all these things, whatever I said, beginning is concept. So if I take a material and start directly highlighting and teaching, I'm not explaining the concept right. So first concept, then you have to again read the ICA material, which is your Bible. Okay, but in material, at times there will be repetition. Those things you can, if on basis for material, two, three times they said, ignore. Main part you study. If you read ICA material, that flow language will come. Is it clear or not? Hello. So guys, so let me talk for 1 minute. Then can I wind up? Is that okay? So guys, so at this time, our exams are fast approaching, and you guys are studying. I'll say something. Mm, many students are thinking, and are you tensed or not? Let me know that. Are you tensed or not? Yes, I do get so much of messages up saying tense, tense, tense. Let me say, why tensed? Now reply, why tensed? Reason. Those who are saying tense, why? Thinking about exam? Okay, little learning. Okay, okay. See, uh, you guys are wasting your quality time thinking about either past or future. Past is previous attempts, future is exams, how to complete the syllabus, will I complete? But past you cannot redo. Future you can change only if you utilize the present. Am I correct? Simple example, da. I want to go to a place. I'm driving the car. If I think about the destination only, without concentrating on my driving, what will happen? You say, I'm just thinking about my destination only without concentrating on my driving, whether a car is coming or whether a signal is red or I'm driving. What will happen just thinking about destination? Accident, right? Similarly, you guys, I know your destination is so beautiful, but to reach the journey is very important. Do you guys agree with me? And now you guys will think, ma'am, you can say anything. Yes, I have passed CA almost 16 years back, 2009. But you have to remember, we also passed through that thing. For inter, I was like you, I was also tense. But final, we understood, or I understood. Okay, I don't want, I was a very tension party. So I've messed my things. Things means health for the exam. But I've passed in the first attempts by God grace and my parents, mother's support especially. But I don't want you guys to spoil your mental and physical health thinking about it. Last 1 month before the exam, it's not even 1 month, da. Last few weeks before the exam is very important. Alle. So in this time, concentrate on what you can do. Quality time. It doesn't matter 15 hours, 16 hours, no, quality. Um, take a portion of auditing, study that, revise that, how you are able to retain it. Revise, again, redo and retain. Do one practice question like that, go. And keep loving what you're doing. I don't know how to say that. If you believe me, I'll say auditing was not at all my favorite subject in inter and final. But right now, last 15, 16 years, I'm with auditing. So whatever you get, you have to love. Whatever you do, you have to. Do you understand? So I wanted to speak more, but time is up. So keep going, buddies. Uh, Destination is so, so, so beautiful. But I'll say no one who has been successful has reached the destination smoothly. If you reach the destination smoothly, destination won't be beautiful. The destination will be so good only if you sacrifice something for reaching those beautiful destination. So concentrate on your journey. So wishing you all the very best. Stay blessed and take care of your physical and mental health also. So if you want me, you can WhatsApp me also. Okay, that's my number. You can not call her. You can WhatsApp me. I will be there. And a big thanks for Sikasa, starting with Kottayam, Kozhikode, Trivandrum, Ernakulam, Palakkad, Kollam for arranging such a beautiful session, not only for them, for you guys, for being such a wonderful audience. 2.5 hours, I think I didn't even give you a break. I'm sorry for that. But yeah, thank you. So we'll meet again. Okay. So.
Thank you, ma'am.